Hi, I'm Sean Dugan, herbalist and acupuncturist. In this video, I'm going to go over the different formats that we give Chinese herbs in so that you can get an idea of what that looks like and how to choose what format to use. So the first thing I want to say is that when you're starting herbal medicine treatment with me and you are filling out your questionnaire, at the end you're going to get to a point where it asks you which of these herb formats would you like your formula to be in, and it'll describe them again in some short detail. But there is an option which is I prefer whatever is recommended for best results. And as much as you can, I would recommend choosing that because it allows me more flexibility in pinpointing the treatment to what you need the most exactly. But there's a couple caveats, so let's go over them. The three methods of delivering the herbs are capsules, granule extracts, and draft formulas. So let's start with granule extract because it's the most commonly prescribed formula type that I use. So all Chinese herbal medicines traditionally were made into hot water extractions. So the type that we don't actually use a lot today is called a decoction. This is where you take all the raw herb ingredients, boil them in water 20 to 30 minutes a couple times, strain it, and it's a time-intensive process, so people are not as likely to use it. Today, what we use is some methods that are similar to that. The granule extract is where a decoction is made, concentrated down, and dried into a powder. So what you have is all the benefits of a decoction, but the convenience of just being able to add it to water. So I'm just going to make it really quick. With this granule extract, what it will look like at home is that you're going to use this spoon to measure, and all this will be explained. You're going to add it to a cup. So we're using it's not a powdered extract because it's not just ground up herbs. They go through a very sophisticated extraction process to get the medicine. You're going to add hot water. You can take granules in room temp water, hot water, warm water, and I recommend using a spoon, probably not a plastic spoon. And you can use milk frother for some formulas that are a little hard to mix, but they dissolve in water, and they're making a decoction that is just kind of a quick decoction. So that's the formula that you're going to drink like that. So that's a granule extract. This is the most common format of herbs that I use for the widest variety of patients. It's very convenient, easy to travel with, easy to take. You're going to taste the herbs though, which is an important part of the treatment. So the next format is called a draft formula. And in Chinese, this is the word san. Draft formula is a bit different. Instead of decocting the herbs, we are taking the raw herbs and grinding them into a fine powder. And this happens, I keep the herbs in raw form in my herbal pharmacy. When I'm making a formula for you, I grind them right before it goes out to you. That allows, especially what's unique about a draft formula is that the volatile oil content, which is very important for certain conditions, that is preserved better in a draft than it is in a granule extract. On the other hand, other different components are extracted better in a granule. So that's where leaving me the flexibility to choose what's going to be best for you is really helpful. If we need some herbs that require a long cooking process to get the constituents out, then I'll probably use a granule extract. In some cases, I'll use a draft formula. But the draft formula does involve a little bit more preparation, so that's always something to consider when you're choosing if you just don't have time to do this. We're extracting with hot water, but we use an insulated thermos. So you're going to get an insulated thermos because we want to get a better extraction than just steeping. Gram scale, these are relatively inexpensive on Amazon, like 15 bucks. So you're going to have a gram scale and use a spoon, but we're just doing this quick here. And it'll tell you, the instructions from me will tell you exactly how much to measure. 30 grams is about average. I'm going to pour that in there. And then you're going to fill this thermos with boiling water. There we go. And then you're going to steep this for a minimum of 1 hour, but you can steep it overnight. And that's going to get a really good extraction. Then you'll pour the herbs through a strainer and drink them. And then you'll typically reheat them, but you can drink them room temp as well. So those are the two most common methods that I use. And then the third is capsules. So there are some instances where capsules work very well. The difference, and there's a couple of caveats with capsules. Mostly when I mean capsules, I mean we're using formulas from Classical Pearls, line of capsule formulas. Now, there are some instances where there is a very good fit of specific capsule formulas that I actually prefer in some cases to use capsules over these other methods. But most of the time, we're going to want to use granules or draft formulas because they allow me to be much more specific with the treatment. This capsule formula has the herbs in it that are in it. We can't change it. So it really reduces the specificity of my treatment for you. You might be a good fit for example, oxbone pearls might be a good fit for you, but it'd be better if I could remove 2 herbs from here that just aren't really appropriate for your particular presentation and add 2 different herbs. That's what we're doing with the level of specificity with granules and with draft formulas. So the main reason to use capsules are there are certain cases where they just are really good formulas for your presentation. Most people choose them because they don't like the taste of herbs. And that's a reasonable thing, but there will be some cases where if you put the option, I only will take capsules, there's going to be some cases where I just won't be able to treat you for that particular condition. And I'll let you know that. When you're taking capsules, you're going to be taking typically 12 capsules a day as an average dose. So if that seems like a lot of capsules, that's another reason why making these formats that are similar to teas, strong tasting teas, is that you don't have to swallow a whole bunch of capsules. Now there's a caveat. So if we need to use a specific formula for you, a custom formula, but you're only going to take capsules, like you start with a granule extract like this, but you're just really struggling with the flavor, you can put them into capsules at home if you want. But here's a couple things you have to know about that. So you get a capsule maker machine, they're about $50. They're not hard to do. I just don't have time in my clinical practice to make your formula into capsules. So if that's something that you want to do, I'm going to leave that part up to you. You can put them in capsules at home and you can take them. The average number of capsules that you're going to need to take is about 24 capsules per day. So again, that is a reason why just kind of getting the flavors down and being done with it is preferred for a lot of people. But I've also had patients who really don't mind taking tons of capsules, and that's just how it works best for them. So you can do that if you want. I think that that's all of the information I have to cover on the different formats of herbs, and hope that helps them make a little bit more sense as far as the options that you have and why we might choose any of these options.